Hey, what's going on, guys? This is your host, Jay, and you're watching From Inside Out. Welcome, everybody, and thank you again for tuning in and watching another podcast right here in our studios from Inside Out. As you guys can see in the title description of this video, we're going to be talking about what crimes are the biggest ones that keep reoffending. And I felt this was fitting for a lot of reasons, and I'm going to get into that a little bit later here tonight and show you with proof, as always, where the ones are high and which ones are the lowest. So stick around. I hope you guys will really get a education type scenario out of this whole entire podcast. I put a lot of work into this one, and I hope you enjoy it. Again, if you guys are new here and want to support this podcast and what I do, you can go over there right now with no cost to you and hit that subscribe button. After doing that, make sure you turn on that notification bell on all. That way you'll get notified every single time I upload a new video or even possibly go live right here in our studios from Inside Out. While you're doing all that, go down and hit and smash the like button on this video and put a comment down below on what you thought about this video. Or if you have any comments or questions related to this video, I will get in there and to reply to them as best this way as I can. And then after that, of course, share this video. Share it with your friends, other advocates, other people that are on the same page like me regarding our prison system, our criminal justice system, and everything in between. If you got something on a more personal note and you don't want to put it up here on YouTube, then you can email me right now at voicesfrominsideout@gmail.com. Again, our email to contact me is voicesfrominsideout@gmail.com. Get a hold of me and let's talk. Let's help out whoever needs the help. I'm here to listen, lend an ear, and steer you in the right direction and help you with your locked up loved one in whatever prison he or she may be in. So as you guys know, what I talk about on my podcast, as you guys, if you guys have been following me for quite some time now, you guys know what I talk about. I talk about a lot of prison-related issues and the corruption and whatnot that runs inside these places. As you guys know, it's June 1st, and out here in the Deep South, we are now the very first day starting hurricane season. And on top of that, the weather out here in the Deep South is going to be very, very hot. I just have a gut feeling that's going to be like that. So along with the temps come along with heat-related issues in our prisons. And I have a funny suspicion that I'm going to be going out there doing, live shows or pre-recorded shows at one of our prisons here in this state, not alone all the other states, especially ones in the Deep South. And I plan on going out and most likely doing shows, live events, if you will, at our at our prisons here in the Deep South related to AC issues. It was bad last year, and every year before that it was bad. So I have a feeling I'm going to be a busy individual. So again, there's only one person doing this podcast right now, and you're looking at them. All right. So if you guys want to get a show in here, I plan on doing that. Just bear with me. I got to get it scheduled in. I got people that want to do podcasts. I got people doing this, and this, and I'm one person. I'm trying to get it in, and my calendar, if you will, is getting full. So please bear with me and understand that I'm doing all I can to get you guys heard and put out there. So be patient with me. I'm going to take it one step at a time and do these podcasts as I see fit. All right. And of course, you guys got a lot of information out there that needs to be broadcasted, and I'll be your man to do that. So just be patient with me. I'm doing all I can on my end. All right. So for tonight's podcast, we're going to be talking about the reoffend rates and what crimes are the highest. I think a lot of you people that are going to be watching this video tonight are going to be shocked on some of the data and information I'm going to be sharing with you. Now, keep in mind, a lot of you know my charges and what's on my record. Whether you do or don't, it is what it is. I'm no different than I was before I became a felon. Just know that, I've been putting a lot of facts out since this podcast anyways. And I've been putting a lot of information out that the felony charges, especially the ones I have on my record, are low, very low. Last time I checked, it was 3 to 4% of people like me reoffending. And it's been over 15, well, I should say give or take 15 years since the crimes, if you will, that happened to me in 2009. Right? So make no mistake about it, folks. If I planned on reoffending, I would have done it by now. Really? More on that later. But let's go ahead and get into the topic for tonight. I hope you enjoy it. Again, like I said, put a comment down below. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know in the chat. Also, share this and sub if you're new here. And to all the new subs that have recently subscribed, thank you. I do appreciate it. We do have a merch line. If you're interested, if you want a t-shirt that says From Inside Out on it, we have a store now. Go check it out and buy a t-shirt. Show your support that way. And we do have a web page too, but it's having issues. It is what it is. I also have a studio phone. If you want to contact me on a more, other perspective when it comes to contacting me, you can do so by emailing me and just say, hey, I need your phone number, and I will give it to you. Again, our email to contact us on a personal note is voicesfrominsideout@gmail.com. Once again, all one word, all bunched together, no spaces, nothing. voicesfrominsideout@gmail.com. Let's get into the topic now, ladies and gentlemen. All right, as you guys can see on your screen, I got these facts. Again, these are facts, obviously, USA facts. And I give you nothing but facts and no hype. Again, you don't have to take, excuse me, you don't have to take my word for it or this webpage for it. Do your own research. If you find something that's different or better, worse or not worse, share it with me. Let me know what you got. But right now I'm getting these information and facts from obviously the USA Facts webpage. And here's the question that I believe is fitting for this podcast tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And before I get into the read of this, I'm going to go ahead and do a full view on this page, and you now won't see me for the duration of this podcast until I get back in here. But you guys can still hear me. Anyways, it says here, how common is it for released prisoners to reoffend? Seems to be a pretty interesting question as of late. So let's go ahead and get into that right now. As you guys can see on your screen, the information and facts and data is all right here. This was published on Thursday, June 23rd, 2022 at 3:42 p.m. All right, so it's not old. It's last year's data. And then, of course, it was updated, as you guys can see here, and I'll highlight it so you guys can see what I'm pointing at. Updated Sunday, May 14, 2023. So it's been updated. All right. So, and I think this is fitting information. Again, if you got better facts than I do, awesome. Put it up there, share it with me. It is what it is. All right. I want you guys to pay attention to this. This is shocking information for a lot of you. And I hope this is, I hope this turns out to be educational for a lot of you that have doubts and want to learn this stuff. All right, it says here, 70% of prisoners released in 2012 were arrested again within 5 years. 5 years. Imagine that. Here's some more information. According to the data from the Bureau of Justice Statistics, BJS, as you guys can see here, click it if you want more information on these guys. The recidivism rate is over 80%. 80%. Again, highlight this. 80%. That's a high-ass number. Moving on. For prisoners with juvenile records, and again, 80% for prisoners with juvenile records. And I'll just go ahead and also highlight this, just so you know I'm not making anything up. Prisoners with juvenile records. And what have I been saying, ladies and gentlemen? What the hell have I been saying in my previous past podcast? It says right there. Now, am I lying? Am I making this up? There you go. It starts in the home. You got to get your kids on a, how do I put this? And I know parenting is not easy, but we got to raise our kids with a certain amount of respect, or this is what you're going to see on your screen. Again, ladies and gentlemen, these kids are not born with 80% of recidivism. Okay? They're not born with this. They're taught this. When your baby comes out of the womb, does it come out with crime in their head? Do they come out walking and then head to a local bank and rob it? No. Over the years, they're taught it. Enough on that. Moving on. BJS, which is this right here. BJS defines recidivism as a reoffense by those previously in the criminal justice system. Go figure. The Bureau breaks down offenses into 3 categories. Pay attention. Arrest, guilty conviction, and return to prison. Return to prison. Now, I'll highlight this because I think this is very fitting for this show tonight. Return to prison. Now, again, the question arises, what can we do to stop the return to prison? If you have the answer to that question and you know it, put it in the chat. I'm curious of your answer. Return to prison. BJS started collecting data on recidivism in 2005. Okay. Tracking prisoner records over a 5-year time period. Over a 5-year time period. Interesting. The most recent data available is from 2017. The data includes prisoner records released by 34 states, representing 80% of the state prison population nationwide. The data excludes federal prisons. I wonder why. It also excludes state or county jails. Very interesting, isn't it? Where people are awaiting trial or sentencing or serving less than 1 year in incarceration, like I've mentioned before. If you guys missed the number and the data and all that gives better detail than what you're seeing here, go to my channel and I'll show you what that is here in just a second. But you can go to my channel and I have a pie chart talking about this type of stuff. More on that later. Former prisoners face many challenges after being released, including finding employment, which is a big problem, housing, another one, or receiving health care, and so many others. A BGS study found that 1/3 of federal prisoners released in 2010 did not find employment within 4 years. Which, guess what? Without employment, now you have reoffending rates going out the roof. If you can't find a job and you need money, what are you going to do? Well, the next best thing to, get what you need, go commit property crimes to get what you need. Because you cannot find a job. If I have some time, maybe I'll speak on that here for this podcast tonight. So bear with me. Additionally, a Census Bureau study found former prisoners who were employed earned $10,000 less per year than their peers with similar educational backgrounds. Imagine that. How do recidivism rates differ between demographic groups? And here's the information on that if you're curious. And before I read this, I want you guys to see this chart. Look at this chart. Interesting, isn't it? Just like I told you guys. 17 or younger. 2017, 80%. 17 or younger. These young kids are out there doing bad things. And why is that? Because it happened or started in the home. It started with the parents and so many other things, which I hope I have time to touch more base on here tonight. There's proof. You can't get any goddamn detail than that. And of course, right here, as you guys can see on your screen, 18 through 29, 2017 data is 66.4%. Still pretty fucking high. Excuse my language. Still high, but not as high as this. Now, look at the age difference here. 30 to 39, 45%. It's getting lower. Now look at this. 40 or older, and that's me. 29.1%. So the older you get, the less crimes are going to be committed. That's a no-brainer. And there's your data. Okay? Recidivism rates are the highest for those first arrested before turning 18 years old. And I've said that numerous times now. The rates are lowest for those who were first arrested at 40 years or older. Again, I'll say that because, again, I was in, I think, my 30s when this bullshit happened to me in 2009. The rates are lowest. The rates are low. Let me highlight that for the haters. The rates are lowest for those who were first arrested at 40 years or older. Staying below 30%, recidivism rates also decrease as individuals get older, regardless of their age of first arrest. Again, I'll do this. Staying below 30%. I don't know how more goddamn detailed you can get with this, guys. Moving on. Recidivism rates are high across all race and race groups, basically. As of 2017, American Indians and Alaskan Natives face the highest levels of recidivism at 79%, but are 1% of the total prison population. 1%. Black prisoners have the second highest recidivism rate at 74%. Well, go figure. Over 5 years and are about 40% of total prisoners. 40%. Here's your data. American Indian, Alaska Native. 79%. You can see it on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. Interesting, isn't it? Look at this. Black, white, other, Hispanic, Asian, Native, Hawaiian, other, Pacific Islander. 65%. Again, here's more information for you guys to try to digest. Recidivism rates are higher for men. Well, yeah. Who are almost 95% of the prison population. Most of them are men. And we pretty much know why. The recidivism rate for women after 5 years was 63%. Below the average for all prisoners. Imagine that. Again, another question. How does recidivism differ by the types of crime committed? Here you go. Prisoners who commit property crimes had the highest rates of recidivism with 78%. Prisoners who committed property crimes. Notice I said property. I didn't say anything else. We'll get to that in just a minute. I hate being right all the fucking time. Excuse my French. But you trolls and haters need to get educated. Prisoners who committed property crimes had the highest, and again, I can't help this, guys. I'm sorry. Highest, not lowest, highest rates of recidivism. Another word for reoffending. With 78% of prisoners arrested after 5 years. Go figure. Violent crime had the lowest recidivism rate. I'll highlight that just so you haters can sit here and, ponder on this for a little bit. Violent. I got a violent charge on my record. Yeah. Violent crime had the lowest recidivism rate. Now, am I lying or are these guys lying? You do the fucking math. Excuse my French, guys. I get pissed over about this stuff, man. But prisoners also face longer sentences than other types of crimes. Yeah. With longer sentences, prisoners are more likely to be older when released. Yeah. Go figure. Which is associated with lower recidivism rates. Ta-da! Am I still lying? Property crimes resulted in the highest rates of recidivism. Look at this. Property, 78%, folks. That's out the roof. And it just goes down from there depending on the crime. Drug, 70%. Public order, 69%. Violent, 65%. Notice that there's no other crime in this list. Can you guess what it is? You're damn right. Sex offenders are not on this list. But supposedly, according to all the jackasses and jackwagons out there, sex offenders have the highest recidivism rate. Where? I don't see it. More than half released prisoners who reoffend are arrested for public order crimes. These include probation or parole violations, DUIs. Go figure, DUIs. Possession of weapons and other miscellaneous violations. Petty stuff, but still serious. These arrests also resulted in fewest returns to prison. Oh my God. More often resulting in fines or jail time. Probation or parole violations are the top reasons for rearrest. Yeah, because nobody likes obeying the laws. 54% is public order. Property, 36%. Drug, 33%. Violent, 28%. I'm in the violent bracket. I got a 28% chance of redoing it again. You guys like this webpage, you guys can go over there and follow them on Facebook, Twitter, and you can email them. I keep forgetting what this one is. I do apologize, guys, but you can follow them nonetheless. I'll have their link to this in the description of this video if you are curious and want to follow these guys. I highly recommend it. A person arrested for public order crime is often charged with another offense at the same time. And then, see that? A person arrested for public order crimes is often charged with another offense at the same time. At the same time. This is amazing. This is especially true for probation or parole violations, which are often triggered by committing different crimes. Yeah, I wonder why. Nobody likes to be told what to do. The other three most common crimes for released prisoners are assault. Yep. Fights. Can't keep your hands to yourself. You get bored. You lose your patience. Yeah. Theft and drug possession. Yeah. Combined, these offenses are about 2/3 of all recidivism arrests. I still don't see anything about sex offenses in here. Imagine that. How are recidivism rates changing over time? Good question. Here's the answer. Recidivism rates fell 7% since 2005 when BJS began collecting data. But while the recidivism rate declined, some factors remain constant. Rearrest rates are still highest in the first year after release, and almost 90% of rearrests are within 3 years of prisoners released. Ta-da! You got to be kidding me. And here's some more data. Recidivism rates fell 7% over time. That's not very good. It could be higher. And you know why it can be higher? Well, because we need to get our, the politicians, I should say, speaking more of, need to get their head out of their asses and realize what's really going on here. But do you think they want it low? Or even, higher than this? Right here, I'm pointing at it. I highlighted it. Do you guys think that this number is good? If the politicians would get their head out of their ass, the lawmakers would get their head out of their ass, this number could be higher and we could empty our beds. Go figure. Anyways, guys, you guys can see the data there, 2005, 2008, 2012. And the in the blue, 2005, percent arrested within 5 years, 77.4%. Damn, that's high. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's your data. There's your information. What more do you want? And you guys want more detail. I did a video on the whole entire pie chart, and I'll show you guys that here in just a second. As you guys can see here, this data and information was updated. Again, I'll highlight it so you guys can see. There it is. Updated Sunday, May 14, 2023. So this year's update, it was published here. And I got the facts from the webpage called USA Facts. So there you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, more facts on your screen, showing you what's true, what's not. You can't make a lot of this stuff up. Again, everybody says, oh, I'm lying out my ass. I don't know what I'm talking about, and blah, 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 blah. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't know what I was talking about. And I think that's a fair statement. It's you people that need to get educated and understand that what I'm telling you, there it is. Again, if that wasn't good enough for you from a factual based perspective, then do your own research, with all due respect. Do your own research. Check it out. Because sometimes to be honest with you, I get tired of repeating myself. I get tired of the trolls and the haters and whatnot not taking the time to educate themselves, even with me getting in the mix of helping these people, and they just don't want to listen. It'd be nice if the truth once in a blue moon can have its day. But oh, God forbid if that happens. But drama, hype, and other kind of bullshit sure has its day. And that sells way better than truth. That's okay. I'm going to keep spilling the truth because I really don't care. I don't care about hype. I don't care about drama. I don't care about any of that. But again, like I said, if you guys want to be on the same page, you can do that. Be on the same page. But if not, see ya. That's just where I'm at with it, ladies and gentlemen. So let me go ahead and kind of give you guys a better idea and show you what I'm talking about when it comes to, when it comes to not just the facts that you see on your screen here. I'm going to go to my channel, which I'm hoping you guys are subbed to, by the way. And hopefully you guys can check out the channel and go from there. But let me go ahead and get that ready right now while it's fresh in my mind. So bear with me for a second, guys. All right, here's my YouTube channel, guys. And this is the video I'm talking about. You can see the pie chart there. I suggest you guys go watch this video first and then come back and finish up this one. And I'll kind of give you a broader idea or a better understanding, if you will, when it comes to our prison system as a whole, or the whole entire system as a whole. So I'll try to share this link involved with this video so you guys can kind of go back and forth on these two and understand what I'm getting at. Again, this is my channel, ladies and gentlemen. Here I am, Prison Podcast Show _ from Inside Out. And if you're new here, please go subscribe now. And also, if you are also wondering how to gain access to my store and other information, go here to my About section, ladies and gentlemen. I'll click that right now. And you guys can go down and see my Twitter page, my store where you can buy a t-shirt. You click here, and our website that we belong to. That would be very helpful to get me out there more and show your support by purchasing one of our t-shirts. All right. So there's my About section. But again, ladies and gentlemen, I highly suggest you guys go over to the video, which I did here, right here. You can see me. There I am. The title is called Mass Incarceration, the Whole Pie 2023. And I think it's fitting for tonight's podcast related to this right here. You can't make this up, ladies and gentlemen. And if you noticed, I read the whole entire page. Every piece of data that's in here for your guys' information is in here, and nothing is being said about sex offenses. Imagine that. And again, just to clear up the confusion, if you are confused, I've said numerous times in other videos and whatnot on my podcast that the sex offender reoffending rate is 3 to 4%. 3 to 4%. Not 80. Like the rest of these crimes. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Again, more stuff coming down the road when it comes to this podcast. I got podcasts lined up. I got interviews lined up. I got other things going down. And of course, on top of that, I got a radio station that wants to do a podcast with me. So a lot of things are coming down the road when it comes to me and this whole entire podcast. And I'm only one person operating this whole entire thing. So you got to be patient with me because I'm doing it all. I not only do the videos, I not only do the podcast, I not only do the facts you see on your screen, but I do stuff behind the scenes that keeps me constantly busy. And, I got to do what I got to do to also spend some time with family and try to balance this whole entire debacle out. So you got to be patient with me. Again, if I had more people on board that would help me, if you are a producer or something like that, get a hold of me. Let me know what you're good at. And I can probably hire you to get involved with production, editing, and whatever else I need help with to try to take the load off my shoulders so I can do more videos and more time with my family, if that makes any sense. All right, so that's where I'm at with it. So if you guys like this podcast tonight regarding our data and information regarding recidivism rate and all that, well, put it down in the chat. Let me know what you think. If you want more stuff like this, let me know. I mean, this podcast is not just mine, ladies and gentlemen. Like I've said before, numerous times before, this is not just my podcast, but it's yours too as well. All right. So get involved, be a part of this podcast, share your show ideas and get it out there. I will do what I can to put it up there. If it's, something that's related to prison, and I'll put it up there. All right, so that's going to cut it for tonight's show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for joining this podcast. I do appreciate it. Got a lot going on, and time is not by my side right now, as you guys can probably tell. I just got back yesterday from a long road trip. I went and saw my locked up loved one in Washington State. The event turned out awesome. I got to see her play drums. I got to hug her, and just and mingle and have some great food. Yeah, right. Prison. Yeah, well, they had some great food, but it was all due to me and my locked up loved one putting money into it to make that happen. So it was a very nice turnout. Keep in mind, though, I got pictures and maybe possibly video coming up on that event, and I will be posting it up here on this podcast so you all can enjoy it and see it firsthand of how this whole thing turned out. So major shout out to my locked up loved one, Jay Lee, who is the founder and owner of this podcast from Inside Out. Thank you so much for inviting me and letting me be a part of this show, the event. It was greatly appreciated, and I enjoyed it. I had a hell of a time. We'll do it again sometime again. And to all the other individuals that were there, that took down my information, want to know about the podcast and all that, I will do what I can to hook you guys up. We're just trying to get out there, trying to do more educational videos and try to educate the masses, like I said. With that said, I'm your host, Jay. I will see you all in the next podcast. Good night, everybody.